On October 9th, 2023, the chief of police from the Spooner Police Department spoke with a captain from the Washburn County Sheriff's Office. The captain advised that she talked to a couple of her employees regarding rumors about Officer Dorn from the Spooner Police Department being in some type of relationship with a juvenile. The next day, the chief of police called Officer Dorn and asked him to come into the police department to meet with him.
I need to explain some stuff to you.
Alright.
Okay. I need you to read that and understand that.
Oh, okay. Where do I sign it? Is this about the hit and run?
No.
What's the date today?
Today's the 10th. Cody, you're being, right now, there's going to be an open investigation. I'm letting you know that there's an open investigation right now for unethical complaint about you with a juvenile in a relationship.
Who? Or is this going to be an actual interrogation?
No, I'm not going to question you right now. I'm just letting you know. This is what you need to read right there.
Do I get any information about it, or no?
Just what it says. This letter is to serve you as a notice that the City of Spooner Police Department is investigating a complaint about your conduct as it relates to an alleged relationship with a juvenile and/or inappropriate conduct.
Who's the juvenile? Or do I get that or anything?
I can't tell you that right now either.
Aye.
So, as I'm investigating this, I have to do some follow-up. It could get messy.
No, I could. I just want to know who.
So if this is your opportunity, I'm letting you know that this will be investigated. Could get messy, and this would be your opportunity to resign if you so wished. Or whatever, that's the plan. I'm just letting you know that you are going to be on paid administrative leave pending this investigation.
So I'm not working tomorrow?
No.
Aye. What do you need me to do?
Well, right now, I need to make sure you're mentally okay.
I am mentally fine. I don't know what this is about, Mikey.
Okay. So, something was brought to my attention and I have to investigate it.
Whenever this turns out to be nothing, does this stay in my box? Because that's stupid.
It has to show that this was investigated properly.
Even if nothing was there.
You know, because it saves your hiney if nothing's there.
Aye.
So,
What do you want me to do? Because I am fine. I am fine.
okay. So, right now, I'm going to probably follow you out to your house and take your firearm and your radio and your keys for the time being.
Okay, you can do that. You want all my firearms?
No, just your service
Okay.
weapon. Let me just...
My radio's here. My keys and firearm are going to be at the house.
Okay. You're not to come back to the PD until this is cleared.
How long do you think till it's clear?
I'm going to work on it immediately today.
Alright, I'm gonna give you this then. Do you want my hospital one too?
No, you can, well,
Yeah. Might as well.
no work email,
No work email? Okay.
no logging in on anything.
Aye.
Keep your phone by you.
Aye.
Do not contact. You're going to have to come up with a plan. Move it. So your school activity, after school program.
Yeah. That wasn't yesterday. That was because school was canceled.
Okay, so who is in charge of that? Are you using...
Angelo.
Okay.
Or I'm in charge of that.
Okay.
But
Is that a police-related thing, or are you volunteering on your own time outside of the PD?
It's a Spooner Police Youth Academy thing.
Okay.
But it's not like you guys don't pay me for it or anything.
Okay, so can't have you up at the schools right now.
Aye, that's fine.
Because it's an alleged relationship with a juvenile and or other inappropriate conduct.
Aye.
No email. I'm going to follow you out to your house, collect that information, and collect your gun, collect your keys, your vest and stuff is all here already, anyways, right?
Yep. Just my belt and uniform.
Do you want me to take the whole belt since that's how your gun is safetied?
Yeah, that's fine. When did this get brought in?
Yesterday.
Yesterday?
And that's where we're at. I'm gonna sign and date this. Do you want copies of this stuff?
No, I don't want copies of it.
Okay. How far away do you live right now?
Like 25 minutes. One other thing too is I could grab my belt and stuff and drive back here. I got stuff I need to do today anyways. Will that work for you? Because I don't know if Bob's working or not, but it looks like you're the only one here. I can literally just go out there, grab it, and bring it back.
You're not to have any contact. You're being ordered not to have any contact with any juveniles that aren't family members, direct family members.
Aye.
Not to talk to anybody about this other than,
I'm going to only talk to you about it.
Okay, union or your union rep kind of stuff. This is something that needs to be investigated.
How old's the juvenile?
I can't give you that information right now, Cody.
Aye.
As soon as I know, I will let you know, okay?
Aye, sounds good.
Again, I just want to make this clear that it's an internal investigation at this time. During my internal investigation, you'll be kept in the loop once it's completed. I'm going to do my due diligence to get it completed immediately.
I know you've probably never done this before. What's your timeline, you think, when I can go back to work?
As soon as I give it a call.
Like, no clue, not a day, not 2 days?
Well, you'll be off Wednesday and Thursday.
Aye.
For sure at this time.
Aye.
Okay.
I'll go grab that belt and bring it back here.
Why don't I just follow you out to your house?
Aye, that works too.
Okay. Do you have phone service out there?
Decent amount.
Why don't you just wait for me in your driveway then, and I'll be right behind you.
Sounds good.
Alright. Time is 11:23 on 10:10, going into Officer Dorn's driveway to pick up his firearm and keys to the PD.
That's right.
Your keys are on there?
It's searched out. Do whatever you want.
No, I don't need to do that. So, I'm going to work on the investigation today, Cody. Don't talk to anybody outside of family members. And keep your phone by you in case I call you, okay?
Aye. Do you think there's any chance it's going to be over by today?
I can't say that.
Okay. So, is there any information you need from me at all?
Not right now.
Okay.
I got to do my due diligence, follow up with other things, and then we'll talk to you later on.
Do I have to stay here? Can I do my own thing?
You can do your own thing, but again, remember what I told you. If I need anything, I'll give you a call.
Alright, sounds good.
Alright, thanks, Cody.
Yep, bye. Have a good one.
You too. Time is 11:26, and I have retrieved his firearm and taser and duty belt with keys. I don't know who owns the duty belt, but he turned everything over to me. Time is 12:02. I'm with Captain Nielsen and Sheriff Stewart at the Washburn County Sheriff's Office. I told you that per our conversation yesterday, I have put Officer Dakota Dorn on administrative leave pending the investigation of this, whether it's criminal or policy violations. So yesterday we talked about the phone call. It was pertaining to rumors that you heard. You wanted me to be aware that may or may not be having a relationship status with Officer Dorn. Is that correct?
Correct.
You also mentioned yesterday a promise ring that was reportedly, the information was given you that Dakota Dorn gave the juvenile a promise ring. Is that accurate?
He hadn't given it to her. He has it bought.
He has it bought. I believe yesterday that's all the information we talked about, was there was a promise ring and possibly a relationship, unknown if it was sexual or not in nature, Is there any other information you have of what you were told by this couple of employees?
No, they just brought it to my attention because they're concerned for, one, Cody, for instance, if he ever had to do some sort of investigation with a juvenile, and for the department as a whole, how it would be persuaded with the public. Do you want the juvenile's name?
If you have it, that would be terrific.
Just give me a second.
Was this information given you through email or text?
They called me on a Sunday afternoon at home.
Sunday afternoon.
Was the female's name that was given to me. I did ask the person who called me, how did this start? And she did say that how they met was on a ride-along. I did ask her if the parents knew about it. She was unaware.
Who told you first?
The caller,
Who was the caller?
It's gonna have to come out.
Sydney was the caller.
Ex-girlfriend.
And she did state they do not have a relationship. She's not looking in any way, shape, or form to get anyone in trouble.
Right.
She's just, knowing this information, thought that she had to tell someone because she doesn't think that it's right that if this scenario is going on that...
I agree.
I get that.
So Sydney called you on last Sunday, which would have been the 9th?
No, it would have been like October 1st.
So 2 Sundays ago.
Yep, not this last, but the other one.
Okay. So that was through phone call. Did she say how she got this information?
She said, and I don't understand how she got to the house, but some way, shape, or form, it sounds like Cody had asked her to come to the house to talk. From what I gathered was maybe a scenario that happened between him and the so-called possible girlfriend, and just as a friend, communication.
She never actually said if she saw this was just what Cody told her and she reported it to you?
Yep.
And then the second one, because there was a couple, how far after October 1st was the second one told to you?
They were the same day. The other one is just confirming what Sydney said and just with the concern. It had no further information.
So do you believe that Sydney told the other one?
I think that Sydney probably did communicate what she believed to these other ones. Yeah.
Okay. Who is the other one?
The other one's going to be her sister.
And Noah gave you the same information that Sydney did?
So Sydney has told me that she has spoke to Noah, and she also said she had spoke to 2 other people. That Sydney's concern was, who does she go to talk to? And these other people said, you have to tell someone. I do not know who these other people are.
And Noah talked to you over the phone then too?
Noah, yeah.
No one else up in dispatch has ever mentioned anything up there?
Not that I'm aware of. Not to me, anyway.
Okay. Is there any other information that you can remember off the top of your head?
No, I did tell Sydney I was going to look into it, so that's why I brought it to your attention. I tried to last week, but it was just a little hectic. So I apologize. I didn't get it to you sooner.
And you said Sydney went to Cody's house, is what you believe at some point?
Yes, that's the way I understood the conversation, yes.
And Cody must have vented to Sydney then?
That's the way I took it, as she was there as a friend to kind of listen.
Is Sydney or Noah working today?
No. They may be in at 4.
Did Sydney or Noah ever mention sexual stuff?
No. Sydney will be back on the 13th.
So basically, they called you just because they want to tell somebody about potential inappropriate.
Yeah. her main thing was, and she said, at the very beginning, she goes, I think this is going to be an awkward conversation, but she wants to get it off her chest. And
Okay, so she's basing everything. I'm not trying to. So she's basing it off of the alleged conversation that her and Cody had. That's the information. So what Cody told her is what she brought forward to you.
Yeah.
And then obviously the sister and whatever. I guess where I'm thinking it's like, if they're concerned about the potential, view of the police department he works for or anything allegation wise, I mean, they're both smart young ladies. I would have thought that they would have reached out maybe to Mike and told Mike and said, you're the chief, here's kind of what we're thinking, but that's neither here nor there.
right, no.
They confide in you, and this ain't the first time that they've come forward with stuff.
And I'll be honest, it's a little concern that I have is, giving the names out, because I don't want to lose that trust that they can come and tell me,
But unfortunately, I don't think we have much choice.
No, I get that.
And obviously, I want to make sure the view of my police department is top-notch, professional, forthcoming, and obviously I'm taking this matter very, very seriously.
Absolutely. Well, and that's, because I'll be honest, I dwelled on it a little bit too, because you look at a personal life, what you do on your personal life, I don't care. But when it does come into a juvenile, especially in somebody in law enforcement, and my concern was, let's say he gets a case where you've got a 17-year-old and a 19-year-old or whatever. How is that going to be persuaded in court if they know this back history? Integrity is kind of for him.
That was the word I was looking for, was integrity.
For him. That's my concern. If it's true, like I said, this might be just whatever.
So on Friday, when they're in, what time does Sydney start on Friday?
4 p.m.
I wonder if they're busy at all where we can maybe contact them, and maybe we could always contact them, see if they can come in tomorrow morning just to talk.
I mean, in my opinion, Sydney's your source.
Yep. No, you're right. That's the source right there. Yep.
I mean,
because obviously Noah was just translating, reiterating what Sydney said. I think Sydney's the only one we really need to reach out to. Well, I mean, unless you want others, but that's just my opinion. Because you're
we can talk to Sydney, and if she's the one if she admits that she's told Noah, if you guys can see if she's available tomorrow to speak.
Do you want me to just see if when she's available?
Yeah.
And you can reiterate, she's not in trouble.
Yeah, no.
I mean, by any means.
Well, I'm just
not yet.
Going to tell her that she's.
I don't think anybody has.
That I'm following up on.
Yeah. But it's the right thing to do.
Hi, Sydney. This is Gretchen. See, just so you know, reference our conversation last Sunday when you called me at home. I am following up on all of this. I've actually, I'm in a meeting with Mikey right now. Mikey would like to speak with you. Would you be available today or tomorrow? Okay. So could we do you think you'd be back like around 1:30? Okay. Why don't you just stop in at 1:30? And I just want to reiterate, you're not in trouble. Mikey wants to hear it from you because, I've told him what you told me. And, can I tell her about Cody? Or not yet?
I would
Okay.
say no.
We'll just meet here at 1:30 today then. We'll meet here at the office here in the conference room. Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Sydney. You bet. Yep, you bet. She's at a doctor's appointment in Cumberland. She should be back around 1:30.
Okay, Cody's.
You're not in any trouble with me, but obviously there's been some things brought to my attention with one of my officers. So I'm just going to ask you some questions, and I'm just looking for whatever information you have and can give.
Okay, if anything does come of this, is this something that can be brought to court or something, or anything like that?
It could be brought against the union for, depending on whatever's brought up, for termination, policy violations, all kinds of stuff. Not for you. For
No, I know
my
not
office.
for me, but I just want to protect myself at the end of the day. So, will I be okay, or do I need to,
I guess I don't understand what you're asking.
like, do I need a lawyer or anything here?
You're not in any trouble with me.
I know I'm not. I'm worried about retaliation towards me, that's all.
By Cody.
And I guess, if that's something that happens, then that's something that
We will take the next
we
step.
need to know, because you coming forward in this scenario, if something does come about of this and he retaliates, all it's doing is causing more problems for him in the long end.
Okay. If this does get brought to the union, are you telling Cody it was me that came forward?
Everything is an open record. So on the totality of everything, I would say it could.
Okay, that's all I needed to know.
Okay. I'll be honest, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this, so I've got the labor union involved and everything else. Sydney, so I guess I was informed. I'll just give you a little bit of information, and I just want a little bit of past history and how this information that has been reported to me got brought forth from you, direct word of mouth. So tell me a little bit about your history and knowledge of Cody, past, present, and to now.
Well, Cody and I used to date,
Okay.
and then we broke up around April, and then all summer I remember texting him a few times here or there. One time I asked him to watch, and then we talked briefly about the officer shooting in Barron, but other than that, all summer long there was really no contact, and if there was any more than the 2 instances I gave you, I cannot remember.
Okay.
I want to say approximately 2 weeks ago, he reached out to me, and it was like, hey, what are you doing? Do you want to come here to hang out? Just innocent conversation like that. So I went over there, and he didn't say anything. We just hung out. The next day, I remember coming over. Again, we just hung out, and then I remember I went to work the next day, and he was texting me like a lot, which was just out of character because we went all summer without talking. And I said, well, what's wrong? And he's like, do you really want me to tell you? And I said, yes, like, go ahead. And he started talking about this girl that he was having issues with. And so he was just talking about kind of just what's been going on between them. I assumed at that time, because I didn't know who it was, I assumed at that time it was someone our age he was talking about. He wouldn't give me a name. Again, I just assumed it was because it was a family member of mine or someone that I knew. Like, I didn't pressure it. He says it's more complicated than you know. I said, okay, whatever. I can't remember. And then, so after that, we continued to talk, because he's like, I'm just having a hard time with this situation or whatever, and I was just kind of there as a friend, like, let me try and dissect what she's doing to you, blah, blah, blah. And then one day after work, I went over there, and he told me who it was, and he told me the age of this girl, and he's like, that's why I didn't want to tell you, because it was more complicated than just some girl I was having issues with.
What was the name? And how old did he tell you she was?
17.
So he said there was more complications, and that's why he didn't want to talk to you about it.
Yeah. It eventually came out. I was upset because obviously she's 17, and I'm like, you could get in trouble for that. There's all this stuff going on in Sawyer County with their officers. Like, you were really dumb in this situation.
Did he give you more details on what was going on between him?
He said that they talked every day, 16 hours a day, that nothing bad ever happened. Like I said, he reached out to me when stuff went bad between them. He's like, it was perfect. I don't know what happened. He reached out to me to try and, like, get an understanding as to what she was doing or whatever. I know he bought her gifts, specifically a bracelet and a promise ring. Again, I knew that under the assumption that she was our age at the time.
Did he ever give that promise ring or bracelet to her?
Yeah, he said that her senior photos are going to have the bracelet, and he's seen her with the ring before. In terms of sexual stuff, he said they've never slept together, but they were on FaceTime one time. He said this happened and she started taking her clothes off. That's the most sexual he says it's ever gotten.
What did he mean by... So he said that... What kind of issues was he having with her?
So like I said, he had been talking to her all summer, he said, and they were talking 16 hours a day, no fights, no arguments, he said. And then one day he was in Rice Lake and she's like, we need to slow things down. I'm paraphrasing right now, but we need to slow things down. I love you, but I don't want to talk to you. It's just been weird. It was so weird. They'd block each other, unblock each other, call each other. She'd say I loved you, he'd say I love you. And it was just this back and forth thing of them continually blocking each other and unblocking each other and not wanting to talk, wanting to talk. She would initiate conversation, he'd reach out, she'd get mad at him, like, you need to stop contacting me. He's like, you reached out to me. Just weird stuff like that. He didn't understand why it could go so well and then why'd she not want to talk to him regularly anymore. That's what the kind of situation was.
When he brought up the FaceTime and she started removing her clothes, do you know if she was fully nude?
I do not know. He just made it, he kept repeating, I did not ask her to do that, she just did it.
Did he say if she's ever been to his house before?
No, he has not. I've never asked. It sounds like they've hung out before or she was wanting to hang out. I didn't press that issue either.
When was all this brought to your attention? The last information regarding this, like how long ago?
Like anything?
Well,
Or the age thing, or just him in general reaching out to me?
just like, so he mentioned that he was having issues with a girl. How long ago was that?
I would say approximately 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I can look it up on my phone because I was out of town and then I came back. I was on my way home when he reached out to me.
And then at what point, so he told you it was this juvenile at his residence when you were there with him?
Yes.
He's told you they talk every day, 16 hours a day?
Yes.
Like on the phone or text?
I think both. The day that I told Gretchen about this, prior to me telling Gretchen, I found out she was 17. It was a day before me telling Gretchen, and I was just upset for my own personal reasons because it was just really dumb. Like the whole thing, like you f***ed up, and it just made me upset. And I said, you need to stop talking to her or I will tell someone. The day I was at his house, he went outside and was talking to her. Went home, called Gretchen.
What day was that, do you know?
Sunday.
So it was the
last
same
Sunday?
day you called Gretchen as when you were over there, he exited out of his house?
Yes, and he was physically on the phone with her. He said that she makes fake accounts, contacts him. When he blocks her, she'll make a fake account, and then he'll unblock her, it sounds like.
So he's told you that he has told the juvenile that he loves her?
Yes.
Did he ever bring up any information about if the mother knows or anything?
He said that he was FaceTiming her one time and Mom was in the background. That's all I know. So Mom knows that they were FaceTiming. I don't know if Mom knows who he is, though.
Is she in high school still, or is she in college?
High school, I believe.
So he's told you that nothing sexual has ever happened between them?
In terms of sex with penetration, that has not happened. All I know is about them FaceTiming and her taking her clothes off.
But he didn't tell you how far that went?
No.
Has he ever said if he's kissed her or anything?
No.
Has he ever said anything about anything happening at the Spooner PD?
No.
How did he tell you he met her?
A ride along.
Do you know when the last time she's done a ride along was?
No.
Have you told anybody else about this?
Yes.
Who have you all told?
I've told my psychiatrist, and when I found out about it, my sister Noah.
So any information no one would have would only be from what you've told her now?
Yes, and I don't think I've given her all the details, not to my knowledge at least.
When was the last time you talked to Cody?
He called me today.
Did you talk to him at all?
Yeah.
What was that conversation?
He told me that you talked to him about an internal investigation and that he was on leave. He does not know I told anyone. I'm not telling him I told anyone.
Was there anything else brought up work-related or to this case?
That he's not working tomorrow and that you're doing an internal investigation, and he wanted me to call him because I told him I was at the doctor, and he asked me to call him afterwards.
Do you think you're the only person he's ever reached out to?
I know his friend Jacob knows. I don't think Jacob knows how old she is, though.
Who's Jacob?
Jacob is a high school friend. They went to school together in Hayward. They're just friends. Jacob is his name. Cody said the only person he's told about the age was me.
Can I see your text messages with him?
Yeah. There is something I do need to tell you, and I'm not saying what I did was right, but he's been reaching out to me. You can totally look at my phone. Here you go.
Well, tell me what you want to
Okay.
first.
He was after I told Gretchen I stopped talking to him, and he still reached out to me, and I felt bad because he was having a hard time, so I was just trying to be there as a friend. Like I said, I probably should have just stopped talking at that point, but he continued to talk to me, and I said, if you continue to talk to her, I will tell someone. I already told Gretchen at this point, so whatever. He thought that recently I've been in contact with some of her friends finding out information on her. That's what he thinks. I did not contact anyone. I will let you go through my entire phone. I have not contacted any of her friends, none of that. So if that ever gets brought up, that is not true. I did not do that. I told him that because I was just trying to help him, but I'm only telling you this because you're interviewing me and he does not know that.
Okay.
But yes, do you want my phone?
If you can just bring up your text with him, if there's anything in there that might be able to help me.
Okay. Okay, so right here, this is Cody.
Are you giving me permission, Sydney, to look at it?
Yes, you have permission to look at my phone, and I can pull up other stuff, and I can give you context to these messages. You are right. The thing that is weird is that I see and saw this person completely different, and I know what they are saying is true, but I have literally no... Oh, that was about him thinking that I was talking to his friend. Here, what I'll do is I can type... And I wanted to talk to him about something had nothing to do with the situation, but I said it has nothing to do with the situation, so don't worry about that. Again, had nothing to do with the situation. I was wanting to talk to him about something else. I can see if there's more, if her name being used. Oh, he was drunk one night and he had called me like he thought he was talking to me, so there was that one. Yeah. I'm drunk as fuck. I'm sorry.
Can you click on that? That was on Wednesday?
Yes.
And it was Wednesday as in like last week Wednesday?
Yes.
It's okay if I look at...
You do whatever you want.
There's nothing in here that's private for your...
No.
So he's telling you he misses her. Is that the juvenile?
Yes.
What did he mean by he misses her? Were they not talking at the time?
My perception of it was he missed what they had had over the summer where they were talking 16 hours a day, full contact, like everything was good. Because once I had been involved, the contact between them, like I said, they were blocking, unblocking, so it was very, like, the contact was very up and down, like it wasn't consistent, is what I'm saying. And, I think he missed that consistency he was having with her.
So this is all from last week, then, right?
Yep.
Is that the only time he brought her up?
The day that I called Gretchen, I deleted my messages because I was really upset about the situation and I was going no contact with him. So this is from Sunday evening, if you go all the way up from Sunday evening till today.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you not delete this text?
Is there a way that she can forward that to you?
I don't know.
Or take screenshots?
I think at this point I might have to go a different route. So there might be someone from a different agency coming to speak with you.
Okay.
Can you not delete those?
I will not delete them.
Okay. I appreciate you coming forward and talking to your captain. The integrity of, he's calling right now, the integrity of my agency is important to me, especially with my new position. And this is concerning to me. Can you spell your first name for me, Cindy?
SYDNEY.
If I have any questions, is there, if I reach out to your captain to meet with you again, if that needs to happen again, I have to do a little research myself and make sure I'm doing this the right way. So, is there anything else?
I think it just needs to be added that, what you've done, Sydney, is not easy, but, like we talked about on Sunday, it's something that needs to be done. It wasn't easy for me to tell Mike either. Because obviously this is not a professional scenario that he should be in. And unfortunately, he drug all of us into it. And it needs to be investigated. He's an adult. He put himself in this scenario. It's nobody's fault except his own. And I think that's important that you know that. Don't feel guilt in this at all. Because it's not your fault. This is his problem, and you having that integrity, bringing it forward is huge. Okay, so I think that needs to be said.
Obviously, deep down, you knew something was off. You did the right thing. You truly did. And and as this moves forward, obviously, it's not going to be, your name will be freely given out there. It's going to be one of these things where people will have to do follow-ups. And hopefully, in a perfect world, maybe when it comes right down to it, when they speak with Mr. Dorn, that, this could be alleviated a lot of ways once he's talked to, and it just all comes out and just clear the plate, and guess what, then pretty much it's
and I think that's the easiest way is if he just admits this.
You're sniffing me.
But that's again, that's in his hands.
You smell like pizza.
I smell like pizza?
Yeah.
I haven't had pizza for a couple, oh my gosh, maybe I haven't showered since I had pizza.
So, I'm at a loss right now, so forgive me for my...
It's okay. I don't feel good about coming forward because he was confiding as me as a friend, but as a mom, I was grossed out.
Yeah.
And I know he does ride-alongs with other people under the age of 18, and I don't know, just as a mom, it grossed me out. They said stop, he didn't stop. I had to follow through with what I was going to do.
Moving forward, Sheriff, what would you suggest for her talking to?
I wouldn't. As her immediate supervisor, I would stop all communication with him. And I guess if I can send him a message too, or Mike, if you talk to him.
Sydney, if anything else comes forward, can you reach out to me at the office, please? Obviously, let your captain know, or I can certainly, after our conversation, let the captain know, but I have to go a different route with this at this point, based on the information. So, once I know what that is, I will, somebody else from a different, I will keep your captain in the loop, so you're, so you're not bombarded. There might be some things at this point, because I'm kind of in shock, so I might have forgot to ask you some pertinent information, and with with your permission, if I forgot something or if I need to, is it alright if I reach out to you?
Yes.
I appreciate your time today.
And I just want to reinforce too, Cindy, any backlash, I want to be the first to know.
Okay.
Because we haven't proven you wrong yet. You know, we're here to back you 100%. You know, you've done it before in tough situations. I mean, to me, you've been very honest, and that's huge. So, and we'll protect you in any way we can. Okay.
The only thing I ask is some of my stuff is at his house. Can I have some contact with him today to be able to get my stuff? Go home. It's just a few odds and ends.
That's up to you.
I just don't want to go behind anyone's back if I get my stuff, and
I would not bring up our talk today.
I will not.
Probably just play dumb. Save those texts for me because I don't have any way to photograph them.
No, but you can, yeah.
And we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
Alright, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, Sydney, say that again now, please.
Okay, so when I left the interview, I reached out to Cody. I played dumb, like I knew nothing of the situation. He does not know I talked to anyone. He started talking to me about how he's nervous about this investigation that Mikey has started on him. And he said he had reached out to and he told the police are going to reach out to her either tomorrow or the next day. And she told Cody that she's going to deny everything. She does not want to be involved in this, and that once this is all done, they need to stop contacting each other.
Alright, thank you, Sydney, and like I said, somebody will be reaching out to you shortly. Please don't delete those text messages on your phone, okay?
I will not delete anything.
Awesome, thank you so much for your help.
No problem.
Yep, bye.
Bye.
A second victim later told police she met Officer Dorn while he was volunteering at the middle school when she was in 7th grade. She claimed Officer Dorn touched her inappropriately on multiple occasions at school and during a police ride-along. About a month into the investigation, Officer Dorn sent an email to his chief explaining that he was resigning from his job. He is currently facing 2 felony counts of second-degree sexual assault of a child, felony child enticement sexual contact, felony child enticement exposing genitals, felony exposing intimate parts to a child, and 3 misdemeanor charges of resisting or obstructing an officer.